All right, I think we've got Carl on live audio. We got Aaron Adam here from Reeds. So it looks like our crew is starting to join in here from those that registered. Hey, welcome everybody. We just wanted to get as close to Beretta shotguns as we could this evening because we can't be at the gun fair with Carl. So Carl, thanks for putting this together and the whole team at Beretta for making this happen. So just a couple of quick things for those of you who haven't joined us before as we go through these Zoom meetings. It's as close as we're gonna get to the gun fair, man. So Carl is the factory rep. He would have been standing in the booth there at Beretta, representing Beretta, Tika, and Sacco. And the main thing, you know, especially at the gun fair, we always hit on is really going to be over and unders and sporting guns and whatnot. So, you know, Carl's going to be back later next week. We're going to be talking about, later this evening, talking about Beretta handguns specifically and some of the new things that are out there. And so we want to make sure they come back at 6 o'clock this evening for that as well. We may have another edition coming back next week too, depending on Carl's availability. But we're going to focus really on shotguns today. I know there's a few people ask questions, and we'll make sure we address those in advance. And also, do remember you can chat throughout these. All the participants and everybody except Carl and Aaron here are going to be on mute, just kind of chatting back and forth about what's going on and what would have went on at the gun fair and what's new with Beretta, in particular all the new 690 series over and unders. But a couple of rules of the game for these chats is they're informal and kind of flow. Do leave yourself on mute as you're going through this. We will open up for questions at the end. For Q&A, but chat throughout there, and I'll kind of jump in if there's something that's, you know, particularly you guys are talking about. We have got some questions already, so I'll get this out of the way. We're going to kind of cap about 30 minutes. And also, one of the things that always come up, but I keep up the chats, is how do we handle the deals that were already advertised, came out in that beautiful mailer for the gun fair? And so the punchline is we're going to make them work. And so through the 30th, through the end of this month, we've kind of just extended what the gun fair deal time frame would have been. Although the gun fair would have been wrapping up yesterday. We're going to honor any of the deals that Carl and Aaron are talking about, anything that was in the flyer through the 30th. So got a little bit of time. You'll talk through those. And Aaron, I'm sure, will hit these as we're going through these. There's the 10, 20, and 30s and how they all apply and where they fit in. But I think without further ado, we should kind of kick off and get into over and unders. That's where the bread and butter of all the changes have been. That's where I know that there's some substantial savings at the gun fair as well. And I'll kind of get out of the way and let these guys jump in because the 686 to 687 as we knew them are completely changing. The series is the game's on. So you guys take it away.
There has been some changes. Carl, one of the guns we wanted to really put out there and show being good partners with Beretta is your 695. What a gorgeous machine. I'm sad that we can't have them piled up and have 14,000 people come and play with that. And a lot of questions I know that I get at the counter as you go through 695, 693, 691, 690 through the series, people get a little confused on the configurations and the mechanics. And I know that I've tripped up on it more than once. This one was going to be on sale for $500 off at Rice Creek. I got some exact pricing for you, but hit some of the tops of the waves of this 95. And if you would slide down through the 93s, the 91s as you go, I think that would help a lot of our viewers. I know it would help me some.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk first about just a few basics as far as Beretta as a whole within over-unders and kind of what specifically makes the Beretta over-unders special. I have one here I actually separated the receiver and the barrels so I can show you guys a few features on the Beretta barrels. And I know some of the smaller detail is going to be tougher to see, and I apologize for that. But we're going to do the best we can here with what we've got. So one of the real special features about all of our over-unders, first of all, our barrels are they're our Steelium barrels. So it's a proprietary blend of steel, and they're all chrome lined. And basically the Steelium barrels are hardened, and they're both weather resistant, and it also makes them resistant to any kind of deformity as you shoot the gun. And if you look here, you can see this is our locking lugs are at the top of our receiver. What that allows you to do is it gives you a stronger lockup on your over under. It prevents you from having a large lug down here at the bottom of the barrels in the receiver. What that does for you, it gives you a lower barrel profile. So as you're firing, the barrels are sitting lower to your hands. So both the lugs being at the top of the barrel and the lower barrel profile is going to give you a better line of sight. And you can see here our conical locking lugs, and they're going to be right here at the top as well. And they match up with those two holes that I just showed you. Now, they're cone-shaped lugs that lock in, and you can see also how thick the walls of our receiver are. That, along with our larger hinge pins, make this an incredibly strong receiver all around. It's also totally closed. So at the bottom here, there's no openings for any dust, debris, dirt to get inside that receiver. These are all features that make our receivers very special. The conical locking lugs can also be rebuilt much easier over time and we see this a lot with sporting disciplines, people that use them, for sporting type shooting when they're shooting a lot of rounds. The gun will start off, the release right here will start off at one angle to one side. As the gun breaks in, it'll center. And that's how you break open your action. As it passes center, that means that this needs to be rebuilt. Well, those conical locking lugs can actually be replaced, and those holes are bored out. And a rebuild on your shotgun in a Beretta is going to run you about $200 versus a competitor who might run $800 to $1,000. So our over-unders are extremely versatile and extremely strong. They'll last you forever. So those are just some of the features that make the Beretta over-unders special guns.
Sure.
And then once getting into, the guns that Aaron wants to talk about, which is the 690 series, we have the 691, 693, and 695. The 691 has the Optima Bore HP barrel. Again, it's our Steelium barrel. So it's that proprietary blend of steel that's hardened against both weather and any type of wear and tear on the barrel as you're shooting it. It's chrome lined, like I said. And then on the 691, it's tough to see again, I apologize, but it's got the floral engraving pattern on the receiver there. And it's also got our upgraded wood. So on the 690 series, there's going to be upgraded wood on these guns from what you're used to seeing. That one has the beaver tail forend versus the schnabel. That's another feature on that gun. And it's going to have, again, because of the things I talked about in our receiver, it's got a slimmer profile both directions in your hand. So as opposed to a competitor line, the profile in your hand is going to be easier to handle. Then you get into the 693, and what we're going to see there is, again, it's going to be tough to see, but it's got upgraded engraving from the 691, and it's a more intricate engraving pattern. It's actually an elaborate scroll, and it's got a game scene on it. So you get that. It's a higher grade of wood. You can see sort of, and I can see the wood is grained very well. So the wood really jumps out on the upgraded gun. And then again, it's that lightweight barrel. So that kind of goes over the 693. And then I guess I apologize, Aaron. We were going to touch on the 695 first. I sort of went in reverse order there.
That's okay. As long as we get there.
Grab the six.
I gotta bring it back. This thing is, I mean, in the world of curb appeal, look at the wood butt plate fit and finish running with.
That's the biggest beauty part about the 695. It's got that gorgeous wood. It's got the matching butt plate. So it's got the wood butt plate versus the rubberized version. So it's all the way through. It's got that the updated wood. It has so that's the premium grade 3 walnut on that gun. It's got the particularly fine deep scroll work in the receiver. So I mean, the scroll work goes all the way over the top of the receiver. It goes into the lever, the brake action lever is engraved. The underside of the trigger guard is engraved. There is a customizable silver button on the bottom of the stock there, Aaron. If you can slide it so we can see the bottom of the stock, that can be customized, so you can engrave that as well. So I mean, it's really got all the nice fine engraving and the beautiful woodwork on that gun.
Got it. So as we run through the 90, 93, 95, mechanically, all the critical components are still the same. You're still getting,
correct,
whether you've started from the bottom to the top, of the top to the bottom, you're still getting the thicker walls, you're still getting the cones, you're still getting that whole works is in every model.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of how far do you want to take, well, come on guys, look at that wood.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Rice Creek, we'd have had those. We were really excited to show everyone that. And I feel like they were running those. They were like $400 off. They're still going to be $400 off. We're running those at $35.99 until the 30th. Give us a call here at the shop. I will go pick you a chunk of wood. No, I can't get photos of every one of them, but I will go pick you, hand pick one for anybody that wants to call in.
Hey, one thing too, Carl, we just got a question from Blaine. He was asking on this whole 690 series, how are they cast? Are they cast neutral?
Neutral cast.
Okay, perfect. That answers that. And then is there anything that's got a left-handed approach?
Unfortunately, not in the 690 series.
Blaine, that
not,
answers
not yet. Now, that isn't to say that because the 690 series is a new series for us, like we just discussed, you know, that's not to say that it may happen sometime soon, hopefully in the near future, because obviously it's a request that we get a lot. So, you know, it may happen. Just keep your ears to the ground, but not currently.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. I'm going back to the chats. Thank you.
Real quick, am I wrong? Are there lefty cast 692s and 686s?
Yes.
We can still do lefties, just not in the new series.
Correct.
Another one, we'll just touch this one real quick. Great job with the over-unders. Beretta got us a great deal on these 20 gauge 28 inchers. That's a $1,900, $1,999. These are going to be $1,700 until the 30th. So anybody looking for a little lighter, trimmer, faster handling 20 gauge for the up and coming Upland season, we do have them. We've got great deals going on, so give us a shout on that. Thanks, Carl, for the over-unders. That cleared some up for me. A big attraction always at your booth every year is what Beretta's done with their A400 series, or what's gone on. The addition of the A400 Plus for all of you shooters that may have struggled with the first A400. I struggled with the first A400 because of that lower rib. I've had a step rib in everything I've ever owned. It's just me. When they came out with the Plus, it shoots a lot more like several other brands that I've played with before, and just changed the world for me. The Plus has got a pile of features on it. Carl, I'll let you nail a couple of those. This has been a great shotgun for me this last year.
Absolutely. So I appreciate that, Aaron. Thank you. Yes, and I agree about the stepped rib. It was much needed, and it's a welcome addition on the Xtreme Plus. When you talk about the Xtreme Plus, it's the most versatile shotgun in Beretta's lineup.
Agreed.
All of the current production semi-automatic shotguns for Beretta are gas operated. The advantage to gas is that it's a lighter recoiling operating system, so there's going to be significantly less felt recoil. Now, Aaron already mentioned the step rib, which is here. We can kind of try to get you. It's just a little step in that rib right there that goes up that improves your sight picture. But the biggest, in my opinion, advantage to this new Xtreme Plus, the best addition was the addition of the Stellium Plus barrel. The reason for that being it has our lengthened forcing cones. So they're actually 14-inch or 396 millimeter forcing cones on this gun. Now, what that helps you do is basically it improves accuracy and patterning within the gun. So, I mean, if you go out and pattern this gun, you're going to get a lot less of those flyers. The patterning on it is extremely consistent and extremely accurate. So the Stellium Plus barrel was a huge addition with those lengthened forcing cones. It comes with 5 extended chokes. So the old version came with 3. This shotgun now comes with 5. You can use your fingers to take them in and out because they're extended. You don't need any kind of a choke wrench. It has the mid bead in addition to the end bead. So we added that mid bead. As Aaron said, it's got that stepped rib. So the rib is actually wider and it's got that step in it. So it creates a better sight picture for you. We extended the controls. So both the the bolt release and the charging handle are extended out. So they're much easier to operate, particularly waterfowling season. If you have gloves on, you know, it's much easier to use them. The mag port was expanded so that it's easier to load your shells. The top of the receiver is drilled and tapped if you have any desire to add a Picatinny rail. Talking about versatility, it's adjustable for cast and drop. There's a shim here right where the receiver meets the stock, so you can adjust for cast and drop. It's got what we call our kickoff cubes system. So as the gun fires, the recoil reduction starts here, center stock. There's a hydraulic coil that reduces the recoil.
Yep.
Secondary is a coil at the rear of the bolt. So it actually slows that bolt down as the bolt comes back, and it reduces again the felt recoil that's coming at you. And then we've got our soft touch stock here on the top. So that helps both with softness as well as it helps with movement on your face. And then again, versatility, we have the adjustable spacers at the rear of the stock. So it comes with both a 1/2 inch and a 1 inch spacer. So you can adjust for length of pull, 1, just normally, or 2, you know, as the season progresses, you're wearing more or less clothing, you can adjust your length of pull for that. And then again, this gun is chambered in 3.5 inch, so you can shoot your light loads, your small loads, all the way up to your heavy 3.5 inch loads, and it's compatible with a mag tube extension. So it's just an extremely versatile all around shotgun.
I know this is one of the very few in my closet that will actually fire a 1 ounce load. I've played with that. It does it. The only thing I haven't monkeyed with is some specialized 7/8 ounce stuff. I didn't expect it to shoot a 1 ounce, considering its build and built for the heavy loads, the duck guy. This is also my go-to for you guys that are standing out there more than 6'2". Beretta puts enough length of pull adjustments in the box with the gun, no special purchase needed, to get it out there for somebody that needs a 15-inch length of pull or better. So that's extremely helpful, especially for my taller waterfowlers that need that extra length of pull. It's amazing what you do when you actually get the shotgun fit to you, which most of us did not grow up doing. We shot whatever Dad handed it to us, and we liked it. That was kind of part of the deal. So this has been very helpful in the A400 series. And we do have a pile of colors in this in stock, you guys. We're specifically running the Marsh one at 1458. Give us a shout. I've got the other colors and a few other barrel lengths. So let us know. Obviously, we just scratched the surface on the colors they build for that. Another one, jumping around here, I'm going to jump to the A300 quick, just because it's a shotgun that changed a whole bunch of stuff for us. It's like going back to the old 390 days, which was probably one of Beretta's most bulletproof shotguns ever, just in a little more usable platform. I sell piles of them to the trap kids. It'll go out to the range and handle 50 rounds a week, 100 rounds a week, all week long, and then go duck hunting and handle that and come all the way back again. Parts and pieces for these replacement-wise are cheaper than almost everybody else in the market. Carl hit on this bad boy. It's got a pile of features and it's priced to go.
So like Aaron said, this is the continuation of Beretta's 300 series of shotguns. So it's a great, it's a phenomenal shotgun for multi-use. It's a phenomenal starter shotgun for youth. It has that adjustability that we talked about on the previous gun with as far as length of pull.
It's got the long one in it.
It's got the same spacer system where it comes with a 1/2 inch in addition to a 1 inch spacer in the box, so you can adjust length of pull, varying with seasons, or if you have a younger shooter that's progressing and growing and still growing, they can grow into the gun. It's fantastic that way. It's also lightweight. The gun is only 7.5 pounds, so it's very lightweight to carry. It comes in the black synthetic that Aaron's holding there. And it also comes in a Max 5 synthetic pattern, and then it also comes as a wood version. So there's 2 synthetic versions of the gun, and then a wood version as well. 7.5 pounds. It's got the Beretta mobile choke system in it, so it's chambered in 3-inch. It'll shoot 3-inch shells, or it'll shoot 2 3/4 inch shells, 3-inch shells. Self-cleaning gas system. It's very efficient. So this gun does a great job of cleaning itself. It's not one that you're going to have to pull apart every time you take it out and give it a cleaning. You can hunt the season and then give it a thorough cleaning at the end of the season. And it breaks down very easily. It breaks down into only 4 major components. So the gun is easy to manage and clean. And with the 3-inch shells, you can have the 2+1 configuration, or with 2 3/4 inch shells, you can actually have 3+1.
Yep. So that was another attraction at the Rice Creek Fair. Definitely, I think we're looking at 548 tagged at the moment. If you look at your Rice Creek flyer, there's a 20% off. We want that. We want to honor that on all the configurations, black, camo, and wood. So give us a shout. I have good supplies of all 3 colors actually. So give us a call and we'll get your pricing on that right down to the brass tacks. Here's one that we're having a lot of fun with. I've got a few of the local guys shooting this and a few of the Bemidji guys shooting a few of these. The multi-target. The first thing I noticed was the weight. As far as a target gun goes, I would call this extremely light. The second thing I noticed after firing it was you could almost put it on your forehead and pull the trigger. The recoil was nil, considering its weight. Carl, pin down a few of the things on this gun that the guy should know.
So on our A400 series of semi-autos, first thing you need to know within the Action family, the Excel family, which Aaron is holding there, that's the Excel multi-target. The Action, the Excel multi-target, these guns, the guts of the gun, so within obviously 12 gauge, the gas operating system and the receiver on these guns are the same. They're built for different purposes, but functionally within the gun, there's a lot of similarities between them, the gas operating system and the receiver. It has that anodized aluminum receiver, which makes it extremely lightweight. It has our Blink operating system in it, which is an ultra-fast gas operating system. It'll cycle 4 rounds in less than a second. So this gun can cycle shells faster than you can physically pull the trigger. The Excel, a couple of the real nice features on the Excel multi-target that Aaron has. It's got adjustable fore-end caps, so you can adjust the balance of the gun. It's got the trap style rib on it, so it's an adjustable rib. It's a trap style rib, so it's actually a sport and trap hybrid shotgun that's adjustable. That's the adjustment there that Aaron has on his hand, in his hand. But very lightweight, very fast operating. It again breaks down into only a few major components, so it's very easy to maintain. That gun, the one that Aaron has there, has the adjustable comb. So in the multi-target, you have that adjustable comb to adjust your line of sight. And then with these guns, another benefit is it's available with or without our kickoff system, which is a recoil dampening system built into the stock. And our recoil reduction system, our kickoff systems reduce the amount of felt recoil somewhere in the neighborhood of 70%. So it's very significant.
Even with the heavier, faster 1/8 loads, there's just nothing there. There's already guys going, why would I want to be able to shoot 4 rounds in less than a second? For all your sporting clays guys, lock time. You pull the trigger, you can feel the action go back. You're waiting for it to go forward, especially if you grew up on an over-under. This one is the shortest lock time of any semi-auto that I know that I've ever played with. So when you're shooting doubles, that's where that comes into play.
Hey, Carl, good question just came off on the chat regarding a sister of this gun. And the comment on the chat is, I bought an A400 parallel target at the Reed show a couple years ago. The bird sits a couple of inches high above the front bead.
What can I get any tips on how best to use that? Any ideas?
The bird sits high on the bead.
Yep, it says the bird sits a couple inches high above the front bead.
Boy,
Sounds to me like the customer's gonna shooting high. You're shooting under the bird.
yeah, I mean that sounds correct to me, Aaron. That would be my best guess, certainly.
If that's correct, the parallel target is built to do that. This raised comb is purposely allowing the shotgun to shoot high. It's specifically geared, or mostly geared, towards a trap shooter whose targets are always rising. So having the gun actually shoot high is advantageous, and it's what it's built to do. I believe with the shim kit in the box, Carl, the shooter could get the shim, the appropriate shim, and actually bring that stock down this direction.
Absolutely correct.
And you'll gain some. You won't have to shoot quite as high, and your mid bead should start lining up with your front bead a little closer. They shouldn't be too much space between them. So if it point of impact's high, we'll want to drop that a little bit. Parallel target will definitely shoot high. It's built to do it, but the shim should fix it.
Cool. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Carl.
Awesome. Thanks, Aaron.
I know just real quick, we can do this one and the sporting kind of together. We do have both the A400 in the black and the blue. There's just a few small differences, Carl, if you want to hit those quick. We are burning up the time, but we're going to make it.
So again, the internals on both the guns that Aaron is holding right now are the same as the gun that he just had. So with the things that we just talked about, both apply. It's that same gas operating system. It's the same fast cycling, rotating bolt design. They both have the weighted fore-end caps to adjust for balance on the gun. The big difference, so Aaron is holding the same gun. Aaron, if you can, the receiver on the one in Aaron's left hand is a black. So that's the A400 Excel black. So it's got the extended controls on that black gun. The black gun also has a carbon fiber rib, and you can see it if you get real close, but it's there. You can kind of see as the light hits it, you can see that carbon fiber rib. So it's got that nice lightweight carbon fiber on it. So both of those obviously are available, and Reed's has them at a phenomenal price.
Absolutely. Give us a call for the Rice Creek pricing. I know they're both really wide ribs. There's just something about the way this carbon fiber rib shoulders for me. I prefer the black one. Give us a shout. We have both of those.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge advantage.
Aaron, we did have somebody ask about a 20 gauge. I don't know if you have time to go through.
Sure. Yeah, we got time.
Okay.
20. What about the 20?
If there was any 20s that we had on special. So you might already have it in your hand.
The 686, I definitely have on special.
I'm sorry, they said auto. Sorry. So
they did say auto.
Yep.
There should be some A400 actions hiding in back. The barrel length will be the question. This is a 12, but I should have a few 20s without kickoff in back. Give us a call. Let us know what barrel length you're after, and I'll run back there and double check for you. But there are a few 20s we'll get you a deal on. Give us a shout. We'll take care of that. But as far as the lineup goes, same thing. This is a 28. You guys, if you haven't picked this up, haven't shot it yet, I can't tell you how much you're missing out. The weight is nil. Few features on that, Carl. I mean, we've touched so many times on the A400. It's got all the same packed features as the big boys, if I'm not mistaken. You just get to shoot the 28.
It does, yeah. And with this gun, like Aaron said, I mean, this is probably the most fun shotgun that we make to shoot. I mean, it's incredibly lightweight. It has a lot of the same. It has essentially the same features as the semi-autos we were just talking about, but obviously it's a 28 gauge. The gas operating system is slightly modified. But you know, if you haven't picked up this gun to grouse hunt, pheasant hunt, if you're capable, if you're up for it, I mean, it's incredibly lightweight, fun to shoot, and we have that gun. The gun that Aaron has is the A400 Action. It's designed as sort of our Upland version of our A400 series. We have that gun in 12, 20, and 28 gauge. He's holding the 28 there. But 12, 20, and 28 gauge, and then 26 and 28 inch barrels in any of those configurations. And the 20 and 12 gauge you can get with or without the kickoff. The 28 is like shooting almost nothing. So the kickoff is not an option in the 28 gauge. So.
If the rest of you out there are like me and have a closet full of shotguns and are just begging for something different, I dare you, because this is too much fun.
Jumping back, Rob had one follow-up question on the chat there as well, guys. Point of impact on the new A400. Do you know off the top of your head?
The new A400 Plus for me, with the stock shim in it, without changing anything, shoots 60-40 right on the nut, which is right where I like to have everything shooting, or I get lost. Too many things going on, too many shotguns. So for me, the way I shoulder it, the beads figure 8, and it shoots 60-40.
That's cool. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Rob, thanks for jumping in on that. We're going to unmute everybody real quick just to see if anybody has any questions. So if you have some background noise, just be aware of it. We're kind of bumping into that time window, as Aaron mentioned there. Anybody have any questions they'd just like to share verbally? Otherwise, the chats have been really good coming through.
Just want to say thanks, you guys. Appreciate you doing all this.
Hey, Rob, thanks for jumping in.
Thank you guys for coming. I sure thank you guys for the opportunity to get in front of you. And all of us at the Reeds team are disappointed that we couldn't see you in person this year. But as soon as we're able, we'll be back and better than ever. So we really thank you guys for joining us.
True statement. All right, guys, again, we could only touch on so much. I've got a pile of Beretta here. If we missed a make, a model, if we missed your question, we've got some folks that'll be answering tomorrow morning all the way through afternoon. If we missed your chat question, feel free to hit the 800 number tonight and for at least another half an hour, or 9 to 6 tomorrow. And we will happily grab those, get you the right price, and answer any other questions that we missed. Thanks, everybody, for taking the time. I know it's not Rice Creek, but it's the best we can do. And we'll hope to see you in the store the second we can open the doors.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks, everybody.